there's a lot of different components, right, when we put these together. And specifically, I think this is the most exciting one out of all the different components, because this is where you can truly measure the effectiveness of the campaign. So let's get into reporting. And then specifically, are you able to confirm the ads are actually being shown to that specific NPI list? And I know we kind of touched on it, but if you want to, further explain that, that would be great.
Absolutely. So we start with the audience that we're going to target. We tell the platform that this is who we want to target, run ads. And then when we pull the reporting, we basically come full circle, and the platform then says, okay, here's the ad that was served, here's when it was served, and here it was served to. And then we use that the ID, and we match it back to the NPI that we said we wanted them to deliver. So yeah, we're able to bring that full circle so that we can then report at the MPI level. So we call it a physician level data report, or a PLD report, because I don't like saying physician level data. But at that level of data, we're able to have all the information about that provider because it's publicly available information, so it's not really private. And then we can report on all the different metrics that are associated with that provider. So how many times they've seen the ads, which ads they've seen, which ones they've clicked on, how many times they've clicked on it, and even down to like the precise time and date that they clicked on or saw the ad. So we provide that to our clients on a periodic basis. So usually it's a monthly basis. That makes the most sense for most of our clients. But if they needed it more often to take action on it quicker or sooner, or if it was more timely, then we can certainly facilitate that as well. So that's how we're able to do that. And I should mention, this is, we've talked about this technology and the way that we're able to bring it down to that really an engaged conversion level data. Like, this is a warm lead, right? Somebody who clicked on your ad and came in, this is an engaged person. They're at least curious at some level, right? So it is engaging. So I think thinking through strategically on your side how you're going to use that information, use that data, right? You talked about it, I think, at the beginning of this conversation, how close marketing and sales now have to be because it's so difficult to get in for these sales representatives to get into the practices. So figuring out, I think, internally that business logic of what makes sense and how it's going to work, I think is really strategic and important so that you can take action on this, because it's certainly actionable.
Yeah. And to your point, these reports are super detailed, and, ultimately it kind of depends how the marketing team and sales teams are set up. So I know some scenarios with clients, they specifically are, and we'll get into this question here a little bit too, specifically around, feeding into the CRM. So what happens in some cases, right now we're, this is a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, downloaded, those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. But sales, the marketing team can definitely upload this, right? And then they can do reps are in certain parts of the country, right? So if they want to figure out how to kind of slice and dice the data based on these leads coming in, that's a great way to do it, depending on the size of your sales team, right? So to your point, there is actionable data here that can be further progressed beyond just the digital campaign. So ultimately, we're using these digital campaigns to educate, influence, right? But then we're turning those over, right? And then so hopefully the sales team and marketing team can continue to nurture them afterwards, right? Because if I'm a sales rep in a certain territory and all of a sudden I get this list sent to me by marketing, like these are the 10 physicians that saw or clicked on the ad, right? That's a lead gen report. And then they can kind of cross-reference to be like, hey, have I already seen these physicians? Have I been into the practice, right? Now they've got more information that they can go with to actually reach out if they need to. But I know specifically for this question for reporting, can these reports, I know they're kind of manual at this point, can they actually, is there any automation tools right now, Sean, that they can be fed into like a CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot?
Yeah, so we do have some limited support for CRM direct API uploads. So yeah, definitely reach out to us, because that's an ever-changing list to see, what's the latest and current, see if it matches with the CRM that you might be using. But also we can set up automated data reports that come out, like you said, in kind of a CSV file format that also is pretty easy to integrate with most platforms.